going on? It's your boy Jared, better known as Prominent John, social media networks. I'm an entrepreneur and influencer and also a producer at award-winning production company Campsite Studios. Today I have somebody that went to St. John's with me, also a St. John's alum, A&R, also dabbling into music producing and making crazy beats we were just listening to earlier. I'd like to introduce my homie Jay Hall. What's good, bro?
What's good, man?
Appreciate you. We in the studio. Let's just listen to some of his beats. Y'all gonna catch some of them shits on the interview. Y'all gonna see some of the beats that he was letting us listen to earlier. But appreciate you coming through, man. First question I always like to ask my entrepreneurs is, what inspires you to be an entrepreneur?
Man, freedom, man. To be honest, thing about me is I've always sort of felt like I had to follow like a structure.
Yeah.
To like do things, and then it's like once you do all of the school and everything, you finish college and everything, you realize like, damn, like that ain't help.
Yeah.
And it's just like to be able to just do what I want, because there's so many things that I want to do, man.
This is having financial freedom, just having freedom in general.
Exactly. There's so many things that I want to do, and I feel like the only way that I'm gonna be happy and satisfied with myself at the end of the day and have no regrets is if I'm free.
Gotcha.
And I have to go through means of being an entrepreneur to do so, you know.
And what does free look like to you as an entrepreneur?
Man, just comfortable, but I mean, matter of fact, comfortable is a bad word. But like my family just won't have to worry about anything financially.
Got you.
My circle around me, my friends.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Just and be able to give back to the community that I'm from and other places as well. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what you would say like freedom looks like and success looks like for you in the future?
Correct. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, now I mean I think that's the same for a lot of entrepreneurs. You know, it's just to change their life to make not only better for themselves but for their family, their friends around them, to go to the top together. I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs hope to see, and not only for themselves but for others, which is a good aspiration to have. And I think with what you're doing now, I think you're in the right direction in doing that. So continue that.
Appreciate that.
Nah, for real. And so let the people know like who is Jay Hall, like where you from, like how did start from, where you from? Let people know where you from.
I'm from Hempstead,
Long Island. Got you.
Long Island. Born and raised.
All right. We had a couple tournaments in Far Rock. We played my basketball team out of Far Rock. We had played Hempstead in a couple tournaments when I was younger.
Word.
Yeah.
You know what team?
Well, it was like PAL tournaments. It was like a Hempstead Park, one of the biggest park. I think the biggest park out there.
Kennedy Park. Lincoln Park. Was it outdoor or indoor?
Outdoor. It was outdoor. It was by the
Lincoln
pool.
Park.
By the
That's
pool.
OGA. Yeah. The summer tournament. Oh, so he was out there with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I had a couple tournaments out
That's
there.
Crazy.
And, we took them trophies home first place too.
Oh, no. Come on,
I think we took
from mine.
I think we took one L, but we used to come out of there with first place all the time.
That's crazy. Small world, man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So you're from Long Island, Hempstead, and I know we met in St. John's. And after St. John's, what did you go to school for? I know we met in PR class. What you go to school for?
Public relations.
Oh, same thing. We graduated the same thing.
Communications. And what happened was I wanted to do like marketing or something, but then I saw like I would have had the
stats and all that.
I'm like, man,
yeah.
Like I said, man, I didn't think I would have to finish college.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that, man, I was about to go to St. John's and make all of these connections. I'm close to the city, sort of like J. Cole. I thought I was,
You thought you was gonna be to come up and get up out of here. Just come to St. John's, meet the people you need to meet, and get up out of there.
For a while, it looked like that, and it felt like it too. But things, you get out there, the real world, you graduate, and things change. Your priorities change.
That's a fact. I mean, as you get older, you feel like, as you get older, priorities do change. You can take on a lot more responsibility. When you got to college, you got to kind of figure out now, it's like, all right, I graduated with my degree. What's next? Do I go get this 9 to 5? Or do I chase my dreams that I was trying to do when I was in college, but now that I have the free time, can I go full ahead on that? Right. And I think as an entrepreneur myself, it's hard to take that leap of faith, especially coming out of college. Most college students come out broke. And then you got student loans knocking on your door in 6 months.
Right.
And they not going nowhere until you start making payments. And then at the same time, in New York City, you got to try to find a place to live if you're not from here. Yeah. Or, like us, we were lucky enough to be from New York. But it's tough when you coming from Cali trying to establish yourself out in New York. So, it's a lot of obstacles, I think, as an entrepreneur you have to face. And I think making sure to take the time to really analyze what you want to do after school is a process everyone should take.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Stressful, man.
No, it is stressful. Yeah. It is stressful. And once you graduated school, what was life like for you?
When I graduated school, man, it was a state of confusion.
Got you.
It was the biggest confusion, actually. And I remember I was graduated. I had finished. I didn't have to go to school anymore after December 2015.
Oh, you finished
and
early?
Then,
Gosh, okay.
And then I was going to walk in May of 2016. So that's my graduating year. But man, I remember in December just sitting there like, what the... Yo, what am I about to do? Like, and it's like I'm doing a music thing, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I went to school for public relations. Like, and like my father's a politician, so everybody's expecting me to follow that footstep.
That same footstep.
And I almost had the pressure of feeling like people not taking me serious doing music.
Okay.
They're like, all right, yeah, it's just a phase. Like, all right, come on. Like, you're supposed to be senator, mother. You know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
your pops took that route.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm like, man, like...
So your family was looking at you probably crazy when you was like, nah, I'm really focused on this music.
A little, but not really at the same time, because, like, my parents are always like, I want you to do what...
Makes you happy.
Yeah, but at the same time, you better get a job. You know
what I'm
saying?
some
You
money.
better be working, bro. I had a job since I was 14 years old. I remember, like, J. Cole had the Hoop Dreams, bro. And if you would have asked me back in the day, like, yo, I was about to go to North Carolina, play ball. Same thing. That's why I connected with J. Cole so crazy. But, like, I remember, man, I'm going to Lehigh basketball camp, one of the best basketball camps in New York, man. And I'm already playing up. Coaches know me there and everything. And, like, it was going into 8th grade, going into 9th grade or something like that. Going into high school. I'm thinking I'm about to go to basketball camp. I'm about to be good by fall and everything. I'm about to make the team. Boom. My parents like, you need a job. 14, you old enough to work. I ain't go to basketball camp. I went to work. Since then, every single summer.
That's some youth.
Work.
That's how it was for me as well. Like, after I got to like my teenage years, like I used to go to summer camp, and then when I got old enough to work, like in the inner city, it's a lot of summer youth. Like we call it summer yummy, because summer youth, you get summer money. I remember I used to work at the beach in Far Rock, and they used to allow, like, it would be too hot. Like legally, you can't make teenagers or kids under a certain age work in a certain amount of heat. So half the time when it was hot, we would get paid for not even going to work. We just got to come there and sign the attendance. So it was easy money. Like summer yummy, I used to love it. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, go play ball, try to maintain, trying to play ball and everything at the same time. But it's hard, especially when your parents are trying to instill you to, like, all right, you need to make sure you have responsibility to get a job. Right. But then you're trying to build on your craft. If that basketball was at that time, but now it's music. So I know when I first met you in class, you were doing you was pretty much managing artists at the time. So how did you get into managing artists? How did that come about?
So in middle school, actually, I met this dude, my bus, my Hempstead bus. We were going to Trinity Lutheran School, man. In middle school, this kid on my bus, light-skinned kid or whatever, and they used to be like, yo, he looked just like you or whatever, and I called this kid Mini-Me or whatever. So, like, for years, like, that was, like, my boy or whatever. And then we went to high school together. He was a year behind me, and I remember when I graduated, he had graduated, like, obviously the year behind me. He was like, yo, bro. He was like, yo, you business savvy. You getting money. Like, you always got a job, bro. He's like, yo, like, you should start managing artists. Because he wanted to rap. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, I could do that. So I had my own money. I ain't really have no bills to pay or anything. So I funded his first mixtape. Over. And yeah, I paid over a stack out of my own money. And I was...
You must have believed in him if you was putting up $1,000 for artists.
Yo, he's the one that put the spark in me to let me know, like, yo, there's a business side of this. Because I'm thinking, like, yeah, I wanted to, like, play music and everything, but I never took it serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really have lessons when I was really young. Yeah. And then when I got older, it was just too late for me to really take the lessons serious. So it wasn't the same. But, yeah, he asked me to manage him and everything. I started managing him for a while. And, like, yo, we had, like, a little strong push. Like, the dude that recorded the tape for us and everything, the engineer, is, like, 12 years older than me or whatever. It was like, yo, like, little dude moving like a boss or whatever. So I stuck with that dude.
The engineer?
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I learned, like, the business going up through that. But we, like, spread, you know, went separate ways after a while. And, like... I guess, what was it, 3 years ago now? Like, yeah, like I get a random text message from like another artist that I used to work with that I met through him.
Yeah.
And she sends me like an article, and I'm like, I see the article, and I'm like looking at it, like, what? And it's like a body found in a lot, something in Georgia, and I'm like,
it was the artist?
Yeah, bro. It didn't process because I'm like, what?
What?
And it was unidentified at the time, but it had pictures of his tattoos.
Oh.
And
and
yeah, I didn't get it.
She told, and then
she told me.
Damn.
Like, that's
unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Bro. And then after that, like that was like my first push into like I gotta do this because he believed in me.
He believed in. He saw your vision before you even saw it to get into like managing artists.
Exactly. And I always like ran with the things that he said to me and everything. So.
Yeah, and I know you was managing a chick at the time when we was in college.
Yeah, that's who sent me to.
Oh wow, okay. Got you.
Yeah.
And then would you make the transition from managing artists to actually becoming, I would say, an artist yourself, like really getting into the music producing?
I would say what happened was basically it's crazy. Like I could be spontaneous sometimes, and I always wanted to be a producer.
Yeah.
But I remember like my barber, he like knew everything about everything. So I remember you talking, he's like, yo man, if you want to produce, like, yo, you need to do this, because he was producing too.
Yeah.
So he's telling me all of these things to do. You need a MacBook, you need
all the tools, all the software. What's up? Oh yeah, I'll get into that, but you continue. Yeah.
So yeah, like he's like, yeah, you need this and that, and then like I'm like, word?
Yeah.
Fuck it. And I just
the money into
threw
it.
the money out, and my birthday was coming up. And I remember I was driving to school. I was driving to St. John's, bro.
Yeah.
Driving to St. John's one morning, and there was traffic going one way. So I decided to go this whole complete other route. And as I'm going that way, Guitar Center's right there. So as I'm driving past Guitar Center, I just think
like a sign, like,
yo, like I just think in my head, and I like call my parents, and I'm like, hey, mom, like blah blah blah, like I want a machine for my birthday.
Yeah.
So I got a machine, and my parents don't never like buy me. You know what I'm saying?
But it was something they probably saw the vision that you had for it. I mean, you called them up probably right past like, yo, I need this. Like, it's gonna help me get into this and that. So they probably was like, all right, I'll support you. You know, see what happens with it. And they supported you, and they got you that machine.
Exactly.
So, getting into producing, what, like, did you go to, like, I know you didn't go to school for producing. So how did you learn the fundamentals even in making a beat? Like myself, like, how do you just go into producing music? Like, how do you, from start to finish, how did you go about that?
I'm a technical person, and the thing is like I just gotta watch things.
Okay.
I can watch things, and
so a lot of YouTube.
Not even
for real.
YouTube, I didn't really quite have the attention span for it. I just have to be in the environment, and I just see things.
You watch and learn from other people around you.
Exactly. Like I don't have to ask that many questions, and if I do, you know what I'm saying? It's something I'm really
trying to figure out.
Exactly. So, yeah, man, just being around. Like there was like I said, my barber. He was producing. He was my engineer before then too. There was another artist we were working with. He had a couple of songs coming out, and he had a pretty big push around the area, like a buzz and everything. And it was just being around in the environments and everything. And then like as time went on, like I had my own equipment, and I'm just doing it myself. And I've always known the quality of sound and the sounds that I wanted. So I'm the type of person that, yo, if you catch me on one of those days, I'm gonna sit there until I figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna solve it. You're gonna make sure you figure out what you need to figure out to get to.
But the thing about production is, you can sit there as long as you want, and there's always something else to figure out.
Yeah, because you may want to tweak this sound, you want to tweak that sound.
Yeah.
So who did you like? Who did you learn from? Like you said, you're a visual learner. So
just
what producers
and just trying it. You know what I'm saying? And then just also just listening.
Got you.
Yeah, like just listening really hard. Like of course, like I was asking the engineer questions and things like that, but also like being around places like this. I've been here before, and there's an engineer here, Andrew.
Just asking the right questions, just really picking their brain.
I didn't even ask any questions. I was just standing there. Because I was a fly on the wall. Like like that was my first time around these dudes. It wasn't my session.
Okay.
But I remember I was standing there, and then I was standing over here while he was engineering. I was just watching how fast he was moving. I was watching the things, the plugins that he was using and things like that. And then just from watching, I knew like, okay, I'm gonna buy that plugin.
Okay.
But I was always able to buy the things that I've needed because I've worked and I've always had a job.
Yeah, so explain. So you was an A&R, graduate from St. John's, and you got into producing music. How are you able to manage working and producing music at the same time? Like when do you create your music at most? Like most of the times at nighttime, morning. Like when do you tend to like really lock in and say, all right, I'm gonna start making some music tonight?
I'm a fucking nut, bro. Yeah, I'm like anytime.
Or
like like I wake up like 6 o'clock in the morning, and like if I have an idea, I'll do it.
Got you.
Sometimes like I'll be out in the car and I'll think of something, voice note.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way you gotta do it, man. You gotta save everything
by voice notes now, bro. Like, but yeah, like sometimes like I'll have days like I'll wake up and I'll start making beats at 8 a.m. And I won't stop till 8 p.m. Sometimes 9, sometimes 10.
Okay.
And like, I don't know, I just get these like trains. I'm just going, and the crazy thing about it is I'll be working on the same beat the whole time, but the beat will evolve into so many different things. I'll have 3 different versions, and they'll sound completely different. But
got you.
It's just like
it's the fun. I feel like that's the thrill of it.
Yeah,
like having something
like
that's that's something that you could mess around with. It sound like this way, one version, another version sound like that way.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the artistic area. Like some artists, like from when you think about the producers out there, you got the Pharrells, you got the Timbaland, you got so like just going off those guys, like any of those producers out there now that stand out to you that you would like to take notes from.
Man, like of course Timbaland, man, of course Pharrell, man, obviously. But, who is your top producers now outside like when we were growing up, like the Pharrells, Timbaland? Is it like the 808 Mafia or is it like the believe it or not, man, like as much as I love trap beats and everything, for some reason, like I could, as hard as I've tried to make them, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't swing it. They just don't hit the way that I want them to hit. And like, people be like, it's just your engineer. And I'm like, nah, it's not. It's more than that. It don't. And if something doesn't sit right with me, it's not going. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say.
Yeah, that's your craft. You know
exactly.
what you want to put out. You know what you want to produce at the end of the day.
But yeah, it's just been like a whole... It's been a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me what's my sound, I don't know.
You don't have a specific sound. You mess around with a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because I could play you stuff that, like, the first beats that I made in 2017, and then play it to this, and you're just like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a complete difference.
And I got stuff out there that people don't even know that I'm attached to. You know what I'm saying? And, like, there's beats out there that don't even have my tag on it. It has complete other tags on it. And for a while, I was just like, I'll just go with just being anonymous. Like, I'm cool with that. But it's just like, motherfuckers don't respect you.
People don't respect the craft in terms of, like, giving you acknowledgement.
They gotta know what you doing. And it's just like, as much as I hate that, it's like, it is what it is. And it's just like, I'm 29 now, bro.
Yeah.
I've been through this shit
the ups
before,
and downs. Yeah, you've been through the downs,
And I've been through heights that, like, dudes wish that they was in my position. And it's just like, I was telling people about my little mishap. What happened and everything.
What advice would you get to producers that's out there that's like have beats and they want to get people to get on their beats, but they upload them to YouTube, upload them to all these sites, and then allows the public to get on them? Like, do you put your beats on? I'm sure. Like, do you put your beats on like any services for people to jump on your beats?
No, but there's a couple out there like collaborations like with my team.
Okay.
That are like on YouTube and stuff that are out there to be used.
Okay.
But my best advice is like, save a little bit of money and get a lawyer. Like, for real. Or just have a lawyer like that you're prospecting just in case. Because it's just like...
The entertainment industry sounds sticky.
Yeah, and it's just like the thing about it is I take blame for what happened too on my part. Because... I was moving loose out here, just sending, you know what I'm saying? Just sending. But the thing is, I didn't believe in myself at that time. That was very early, and that's when I was still managing artists heavy. So I'm just out here just doing it. You know what I'm saying? And somebody instructed me like, send these beats. So I'm like, nah, whatever. The beats weren't mixed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just didn't think anything of it. But you can't sleep on your level. And you can't ever sleep on your level. And that's the mistake that I made, is sleeping on my level.
Yeah.
Is because now I see how it works. Is that, these dudes that are like real music dudes, like they hear things, they get inspired by it, and then they take it like, ooh, like I could just do this and that. Like if you really have that ear, you could hear a skeleton or something, and you could be like, ooh, if I move this and that.
They know how to arrange. They know how to rearrange it to make it sound how they want it. How they want it to sound. Especially for specific artists, they can be like, "Oh yeah, if you move this here, you move that there."
And that's what happened. And like, I didn't protect my work. I didn't even have a producer name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't a producer on Instagram or whatever. Like, my email address was some random. It was my college email address. I sent it from, bro. Like, yeah. So the dude was just probably like, yo, what? But I mean, yo, it's cool. Like the thing about it is like,
it's a learning experience.
As much as it bothered me going through the experience and like still like dealing with it right now and everything like that. But it's like after having that like low point of just wanting to quit and all of this stuff, it's like it made me realize like, yo, bro, like you got it. Yeah, you right there. Like, you're one email away. From it right there, and it's just like notice where you're at. I was so used to just like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see production being my avenue. It was just something I was just doing.
But then when you see it get picked up and get put out like that, it's like, wow, I actually do got this. I'm actually good at what I'm doing. Like I should take this full time. Like is that when it resonated with you? Like you should probably go full time with your music.
Yeah, like, but still, like it took a lot to even say that I'm doing it full time. You know what I'm saying? Like it took a lot because I was still always like, I'm working a job. I need to keep that income. I need to keep that insurance. Like, yo, bro, like that's my parents' mind. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, yo, my parents are
stability.
Old school.
Stability. You got to keep that stability around
like,
you.
Everybody, like a lot of people, like from around where I'm from, like they know my parents and everything like that, and they have this perception of who they were, like, or who they are, like, at this point and everything. But, like, yo, my dad's from the Bronx, 9 kids, all of this, dropped out of high school, and then made it to be where he was and everything. You know what I'm saying? And then my mom's, like, from Queens, like, first want to get her degree. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they broke down the doors for you to, you know,
exactly. So it's just, like, their mindset is, like, yo, like, you got to work because we worked.
And this is how we succeeded, so this is how you should succeed.
My mom got married at 21 to my dad.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You look at anybody, we 29, we ain't know
exactly. I can't even fathom being in the same mindset to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like they're like, yo, you gotta work, you gotta get money. Yeah. And that's always been the thing. It's like, yo, I'm gonna have to have a job. But I'm gonna do this too. Yeah. But it's just like at the same time it starts to cost you because you start to, you know what I'm saying? You gotta believe in it for it to start working for you.
That's true. You gotta believe in it. You gotta pour yourself into it.
And I wasn't believing in it, but it's like now I believe in it. And now I see things just like lining up crazy, and I'm like, wow.
That's good. That's good. And like, in terms of the process of making a beat, like how long does it usually take you to make a beat?
Oh man, to finish one?
Yeah, like from start to finish.
Yo,
like
to be honest, bro, like sometimes like. I don't know, man, because I can make a beat in like 5 minutes. I can make a beat in 15 minutes.
Depends on what you're trying to do with it, really?
Yeah, like, yo, it depends on the environment that I'm in, too. Like, if I'm with an artist or something, I could probably make something quicker when I have somebody standing next to me and, you know what I mean? Like, throwing out a pattern of what they want to do. I'm really good in situations like that, and for a while I used to avoid that. But it's just like that's what you need to be doing.
You need an artist there to help you collab with and like to help you give you that inspiration in what you're doing.
I have a technique that I started using now to like actually finish my songs now, but I'm not gonna
put that out there. Yeah, that's the behind the closed doors. I feel it. Yeah. Now that's cool. Like I mean, we got some artists back here. Y'all don't see on camera, but like for y'all artists, like would y'all like to work with the producer, or would you rather the producer send you a beat? Like is that something that a lot of y'all would like?
I mean, it's easier like working with the producer. I mean,
versus getting the beat sent to you because you could tell them to tweak and everything, right?
Or like finding the beat on YouTube and having to find a producer like to get the shit cleared is just like a headache, bro.
A headache, really.
I'd rather work with the producer straight up.
Straight up, right? Yeah, that makes sense. There's
things that you wouldn't have thought of unless you was there.
Right.
Oh, you may have added something and you're like, actually, I don't fuck with that. But if you weren't there, that it would have came your way. And it becomes a thing where you have to
back and forth. So it's always better to probably work with the team you're working with. Somebody that's producing your music, you definitely want to work with them in the house. Like the engineer, you want to be with the engineer when they mixing and mastering your short. All right, that makes sense. So, how many artists like right now since you've been making beats? Have you thought about doing like the album route like some of these producers do, like not DJ Khaled's not a producer, but would you ever take the route of like putting together a whole project?
Like that's
like Metro Boomin? Would you do something like that? Do a whole mixtape with an artist and produce all that?
That's pretty much like what I'm setting out to do right now.
Okay,
but it's difficult, man. Like it's difficult trying to get a whole bunch of personalities working together, and then on top of that, to get everybody in the same room at one time. At the same time, and then like you got these instances where you hit people up and you're like, bro, we gonna do this, and like, yeah, we gonna work,
and then it don't come in.
Nothing happens. Like, yo, bro, send me that. You send it, nothing happens. It's just like I started to really get frustrated with that. So it's like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're gonna keep reaching out to the same people. You're gonna reach out elsewhere.
Yeah,
and then.
Or let people come to you.
Exactly.
Let people hear what you got developing.
Basically, what happened was I just started, like I said, like I just not even reached out elsewhere. Elsewhere reached out to me.
Mm-hmm. And you was playing some beats that you've been forming with these guys over in the UK. Yeah, that's been crazy. Like,
bro,
how did that UK collaboration come about? Because I remember. I would say before pre-pandemic, you hit me up. It was like, y'all got this artist that I've been trying to reach out to in UK. And you saying you've been talking about the UK for a minute to me. I remember you saying that a while back. Mm-hmm. So how did that whole UK connection happen?
So I was working my job. We went into work from home in March, and then like prior to that, I was planning on moving to China.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had like these like. I had this idea from high school from China. That's the real entrepreneurship, but I don't really talk about that. I've told only I could count on one hand how many people I told that idea, but that's still something
that's still in your back pocket.
That's the $1 billion idea, but it don't have nothing to do with this. But anyway, like I was about to move to China. I didn't tell anybody I was going, and then pandemic broke out. Everything, and then my China
thing happened because it was a wrap.
Like, what are the chances of that? So I'm on YouTube, and it's just like I had that itch to just travel. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be up out of here. Like after losing my boy Pat and everything that.
Rest in
like
peace,
I was
Pat.
just like that shit had me like, dog, like I'm over this place. Like I'm not growing. I'm feeling stagnant. I don't like my job that much. And then I'm just on YouTube, and I don't know, like some UK shit came up, and I started to look at a playlist or whatever, and it was the New London playlist on Apple Music, and I started listening to it, and then I hear this kid ads.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit. And I look it up on YouTube, and he has a video and everything, and I'm like, oh, like this kid is dope. So that just directed my focus to London or whatever. And the more I like listen to it, like I follow his pages and everything like that, I just decided like, let me reach out to this kid, because I was still like making beats and everything in the house. But I was just like, I wasn't like really into it like that. It was just something to do to pass the time, because I was not going outside during the pandemic. So reached out to him or whatever, communication back and forth. He pointed me in the direction of his management and everything. And then like we just started chopping it up more, and I'm like trying to like push like his shit out here and everything like that. And yeah, like we became cool and shit like that. And I'm just mad on London shit now, because I'm thinking like, yo, I'm gonna make beats for this kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then what happened was, like, I want to say a couple months passed. Like I said, I'm on everything UK. Music, I'm not even watching American
You're not
TV
looking at it at all.
or nothing, everything. So I'm trying to do drill beats now and everything. And this kid like randomly reaches out to me on like a couple of kids in the UK started reaching out to me. But this kid, he's a producer, reached out to me, and he's just like, yo man, like I like your work, whatever, things like that. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm not that good or whatever. But he was like, he seemed cool, you know what I'm saying? And after dealing with what I dealt with, I'm not sending nobody nothing.
Especially in the UK.
Yeah, it was like, yo, like, this kid don't even got a face on his profile, bro. Like, yeah, it was like that,
I can't take that risk.
So, yeah, but, like, I started talking to him, like, here and there, you know what I'm saying? But, like,
building a relationship.
Yeah,
seeing what he's about.
Exactly, but I wasn't, like, really taking it serious like that. But it's just, like, at the same time, I'm, like, telling myself, like, yo, bro, you need to be, you know what I'm saying? You need to have that enthusiastic attitude for this again if you want this to work. Because this work from home shit, doing my job, is like, yo, I don't know how much longer this is going to last.
Yeah,
like,
nobody knows
like
how long
they
going to
fire us very soon.
So
I'm thinking, like, yo, at least, you know what I'm saying, I could do this. So I'm thinking I can make a play, and I'm like reaching out to mad UK people now, and they're receptive because I guess, I don't know, maybe because they appreciate the love coming from New York and things like that.
Got you. In the States, you know, this is where music,
so
you know what I'm saying?
I'm like talking to this kid back and forth now, and now like he's like motivating me. He didn't know it, but he's like motivating me like to keep making stuff. He's like, yo, like they say like I rate you. Like yo, like that's the rate. Like yo, I think you dope. Like yo,
that's the way. That's they sling out there.
Yeah,
rate you.
So like when he said that, I was like, word, like appreciate that, bro. Like cool. So like like I said, I was watching all the TV and everything, so I was like learning the slang,
learning the lingo.
But yeah, man. So eventually, like he's like, yeah, man, send me some samples, and I was like, all right, cool. So I sent him a pack of samples, and I'm not expecting this because, like, you know what I'm saying? You're
still a little wary of who he is.
Not even just that. Like, the sound out there is still new to me. So it sounds cool. I'm like, oh, shit. But I'm not thinking, like, making beats like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sending him the samples. I'm not expecting to hear what comes back to me. Like, yo, he sent me this shit back. And, like, it was really quick.
Word.
When he sent it back, I opened it up. Because it was like an old school 90s sample, Far Side sample, the Running Away sample.
Damn.
And that's just me, like, being my old school hip hop head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I used to make them like boom bappy type of beats, but you know what I'm saying? Because I love those raw samples. So I sent it to him, and what he sent me back was like,
stupid.
Dog, like, I did not expect it. And when I heard it, I was like, nah, this is crazy.
You gotta work with him.
And yo, like, that shit
clicked right there.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was during the pandemic.
Right.
Damn, so imagine if like things didn't shut down. Imagine if you was still like working in the office, not able to be in the house researching, which was something that you was dabbling in. But look what happened. Like somebody's like, hey, let me talk to you. Let's work together. Yeah. And then you get this crazy beat come back after you do your samples in there. So that just shows you can't sell yourself short.
Right.
Because if you lowering your standards, you're not gonna take it to the next level. But being that somebody else saw that in you, it took you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's important that
continues to.
I think it's important that people realize when you put in the work, when you put in the work and time into something, knowing that you're putting your best effort into it, don't really care about what people say, because you put all your work into it. Word. And if people gonna have their own opinions, but you did your best. You did the best you could. Facts. So I think that's the way you should look at it, and I think a lot of people should look at it when they're doing anything, because people always gonna have their opinions. You can't satisfy everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that kid reached out and was like, yo, I think it beats the dope. Like, let's work together.
Yeah, I want to shout out like that whole team.
Yeah. So what's the you say you got a team in UK now?
Yeah.
Team
it's
of UK producers.
It's AOM Productions, but
AOM Productions.
Yeah,
okay.
After speaking today, like the name is probably gonna change.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Want to make it bigger than that. But,
all right.
Yo, Flicks. That's with an X, FLIX.
Okay.
K Million. Yo, who else, man? Yo, Spharaoh, of course.
Spharaoh, yeah. You heard
all
some.
of them, bro. Like that dope, man.
So it's about 4 of y'all. I would say like it's about 4 of y'all.
Yeah, it's more of them, bro. Like I'm meeting all of them as
you go. Got you.
Those are the ones that I've been in contact with.
Okay.
Most. Like, yeah, like they yo, they're younger than me. Yo, these dudes like 18, 19 years old, but it's crazy. Like, I'm learning more from them than I ever did producing before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like a student learning from these dudes.
And I mean,
it's crazy.
It's probably because something they've been doing since they was younger than probably like 12, 13. And you didn't think about producing music until after college. Like, this is not something you was doing at A&R. You was really looking for artists, really managing artists. And then you decided to turn a new leaf and get into the production side. So for you learning a whole new skill. Like, you know, you have an ear for it, but you don't know exactly what tools, what buttons to press to make these things happen and to make it sound that way.
Exactly.
So to learn from and also it's teach you how to be humble, because you're just taking a step back. Being that you're 29 and you taking a step back listening to these 18, 19-year-olds and like and they're like, yeah, you should, you know, and it's just like that's a humbling experience, because it just shows you can learn from
big facts.
Anyone, you know, no matter the age difference at all. You can really learn how to perfect something from anyone.
Dude said some gangster shit to me, bro, like today, That's something like, I'm thinking like, he's one of them real like tapped in, like really, really smart people. But he said to me, like, he was like, yo, bro, he was like, I've been studying trees lately. He's like, I know that sounds crazy, and I laughed. And I was like, nah. But he was like, the thing that I learned is that the trees that stay saplings the longest are the ones that have the most longevity. Okay. They have the longest life. So like basically like, you stay childlike, you stay student-like the whole time, you'll have more longevity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You stay young. And I was saying like, you keep me feeling like I'm youthful in this shit, bro. Like I feel like I'm
kid
18, again. Like, I could do this again. And when he said that, I was like, oh, that's some...
Yeah, that's a gym right there.
Like, that's what? Gym, like, that's some, like, Thoreau shit. Like, you know, like...
No, that's the way to look at it. I mean, I think you always got to look at life as a learning experience. I don't think you should ever... I have to forget who said it, but anyone who thinks there's a genius is already an idiot. Because no one's a genius. Like, you can't learn... No one knows everything. So, myself, like, I always try to learn from everybody. Like, I know I'm not the best. I don't know nothing about producing, but I'll sit here and watch you make a beat, and I'll try to learn from you, just so, you know, if I could teach somebody else something and bring, you know, just, I think everybody should try to learn something every day. Like, I think they tell us in school, try to learn something new every day. And I think you should apply that to life, because there's so much information out there in books. I know a lot, you know, my homie Bernie, he's big into books. This man sticks his head into every book. He reason that got me honestly reading books, because like going to, you know, school, you read a book, they kind of make it seem like a task. Like, I don't, especially since you don't feel like reading. Yeah. But after college, I'm like, I got to get into literature more. I really need to, you know, just read certain books. And then honestly, chilling with my homie Bernie, he's like, really was like, yo, I'm reading this book, I'm reading that book. I'm like, yo, I need to probably tab into these books more. Like, you know, and honestly, it's been so helpful. Like, I've been reading way more books, and it's been giving me more insight on just who I am, and it's really giving me that hunger to in being an entrepreneur. It's showing me like what I really want to do. So everybody out there, if y'all ain't reading books, y'all should definitely get into reading books. Audible books, or what's that? Audible, that app. Yeah. Audible, I know is a big one. And just listening to them on your phone. What's free another promo. One? Spotify. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, free promo I'm giving these guys. But nah, real talk. Like, sticking your head in a book, that shit'll give you so much information.
That made me think about something that you said to me though when we linked up a few weeks back. And then also what you asked me about, like, what's freedom? Yeah. Whatever. Like, you said when they make you read books in school, it's like a task. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you had to do it. But it's just like you told me about what Nipsey said? Something about you can't enjoy life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was the quote again?
He said, so Nipsey had pretty much said, like, you can't enjoy life until you're not trying to survive.
Exactly.
So,
and we're a little bit older, a little bit more comfortable, and now you're able to sit down and take in the book. Back then, it's like you gotta do it.
Exactly. We're trying to survive. We're trying to worry about, like, all right, I need to, how am I gonna get this A in this class and move on from this topic? You know, it's not like, how is it gonna help me in life? Now we got past that, you know, getting out of school. Now we trying to figure out how to survive in our careers. But I think Nipsey was 100% right with that quote, and it sticks by me all the time. I'm always like, once I learn how to not survive, once I get past learning how to survive, then I could really enjoy working on my craft.
Man, if I told y'all, man, how I got through school, and no, I wasn't a cheater, bro. But not at all. It's like, but as far as like reading, man, like, and for me to have done as well as I've done,
yeah, bro,
it's
same.
Like, dog, like,
yeah,
I wasn't reading those books.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Spark Notes, bro. Shout out to Spark Notes in college, bro. That shit was. And what's the other one we had in college that would tell us to rate my professor? Shout out to all the websites, because that made life a lot easier. Like, I ain't have to really. I just had to research what professor I'm having and how I could get on their good side. Because I really wasn't all about reading them books sometimes. Because them shits would be like, yo, I really got me reading this. This ain't got nothing to do that's gonna help me in life. It may have a life lesson, but I don't think this is something I really personally want to read. But hey, you know, Spark Notes came in handy, Rate My Professor came in handy. But now we adults, and I think now we can pick up a book and read what we want to read. So I think that's the way we gotta look at it.
I wish I did read some of them though. I do.
Nah, that's a fact. And
2020 hindsight though.
That's true. Yeah, that's the way you gotta look at it. 2021, pick up more books. You know, always that's the way you gotta look at it. And a lot of things I like to ask my entrepreneurs is And so they say entrepreneurs have 5 skills. Those 5 skills is research, focus, communication, learning, and cash management. What would you say is your strongest skill out of those 5 skills, and what would you say is something you would like to improve on?
Sorry, you said research.
Research, focus, cash management, communication, and learning.
I would say all, but at the same time, I've been in situations where cash management has been very difficult.
Okay. So that would be something you want to improve on?
Yeah, and that's the reason why I always kept a job.
Yeah,
Because, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because you take a lot of risks. You put money
Exactly.
there. You put money there into this artist.
Exactly.
Put money in this department. It's like if that doesn't go well, I got to make sure I have something to fall back on.
And also, it's like when like being smart too. It's like because focus, like you want to have the artist to focus on, but like if you're a manager or whatever, it's hard to like make somebody focus on something. And then on top of that, if you have an artist that's say not really working like that or whatever, and now here you are putting more money in this person, and it's like you're telling them to spend money here and whatever, but they not listening. It's just like it's hard to say like that's my skill. But so far from myself, I would say, as far as I've been doing things for myself, I would say I'm pretty solid in all.
Okay.
But cash management is where everybody could be better at. You know?
Yeah, I mean, especially amongst our culture, like I feel like amongst black and minorities, like I mean, it's not. I think it's just because it's something that we never seen. Like especially growing up from the hood, like you don't really see a lot of money. So when you see that, it's like or it's just making the right investments, not knowing like what you can do with your money, not knowing the different ways you can make more money, and that's something that we don't get taught. So cash management, I think, is something that a lot of people could, like you said, can improve on, and just in general in terms of being an entrepreneur.
That's real.
And I know, like you said, you was working before pre-pandemic, and then after work, so you started working at the company you're working with because of the pandemic. So what does a normal day look like for you as being a producer and trying to take your career to the next level?
Man, it's the thing about it is like it could be all over the place, but what I'm learning now is to structure my day. So like I get up and I actually make beats now. You know what I'm saying? I get up and I actually do something productive. But lately I've started working out more because it's just like,
I see you've been getting back into the boxing.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Word, that's good. That's everybody needs that stress reliever.
I need that, bro.
So that's what you like to do more for fun, like to kind of like stress relieve.
Boxing did a lot for me, bro. Like, and that's why like my boys and everything. Like I felt like we kind of like grew up in that gym together. Like we stepped into manhood in that gym. Like first year of college, they were already there. They brought me into it, or whatever. But it's just like that place is. It's a therapy for you. It's a good place for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good.
But man, like I get up, I work out now and everything. And yeah, man, like I just do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm reaching out to people,
connecting
all the time,
with people,
networking when I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just unexpected. It's just things just fall in.
Especially summertime is here. It's a lot opening up.
But
a lot more events.
Right now, like what I'm doing now is I'm really putting a catalog together. You know what I'm saying? Because now
I mean shit, we heard some of the catalog, bro. You know what I'm saying? We need to get some artists on there ASAP.
I appreciate that, man. And I'm about to execute the master plan now. And that's the thing. Before I was always trying to put other people on and everything. It's just like, like you can't be trying to drag everybody through.
Sometimes you gotta focus on yourself.
I saw a crazy quote. I'm sorry, I got all these quotes, but
bro. People need to hear the gems. Like this is what keeps people motivated.
Most people die drowning trying to fight the person trying to save them. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and it's just like not saying like I'm a savior to anybody, but it's like I've been in all of these situations, in all of these things, and I'm trying to like tell people like, do this. And it's like the whole reason they brought me onto the team is because they're like, oh you got the right, you know what to do. But then when it comes time to do it, just complete undermine it. And then like when the bag gets fucked up, who they want to blame?
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, like I can't, So yeah, man, it's just that's the thing, man.
Yeah, it's tough. That is tough. That is tough. And like one thing I always like to ask is like, so when things blow up on the producing side for you, and you got, like you said, you have like a production group, and somebody said like came to your production group like, hey, we wanna take up. We want to buy out, like not buy out, but like we want y'all to make a certain amount of, like, say like Rock Nation came to you like, yeah, we want to sign your whole team to produce beats for us, and you can't produce beats for no one else. Would you stick to that deal, or would you be like, nah, I'm freelancing still, like I'm not gonna sign my soul to that?
You know, I mean, I can't answer that question. Cause,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Not just hypothetically speaking.
I'm speaking for a lot of people.
Oh, got you. Because
Yeah.
you're a team of people. So
Yeah,
it's like
a
if
team,
somebody's like,
I'd have
yeah,
to see how they feel about
got
that.
you.
Yeah, that's
It's hard to speak for a
yeah,
team
it's
when you
hard.
work
Like
with
when
a
you
team.
start talking about signing on the dotted line for things, things gotta look right.
I feel what you're
And
saying.
that's the thing. Like, also, like being an entrepreneur too, when it comes to like results and everything too, you gotta know what you're looking for, and you gotta know what you want.
Yeah, so a lot of people get that deal in front of them. They don't know what they
And
looking
that's the
for.
thing.
In that
There's
deal.
a lot of people that start businesses and don't even know what they want. And I started a business, and I was like, "What am I about to?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like now I got a clear cut idea, and I've gained a whole bunch of connections like throughout my time doing this.
Okay.
And it's just like I always like want to help people. Like yo, let's do this. And it almost starts to look like, yo, you got all these connections. Why don't you use it for yourself? Because it's like, oh, I didn't build anything for myself. Now it's like I got some shit for myself.
No,
and
I
it's
feel
just
it.
like now I'm about to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you heard it.
It's
That
about to get
ain't
crazy.
sound like what I was.
That's
you know what I'm
it
saying?
sound, yo,
Yeah,
y'all
exactly,
gonna hit the
bro.
snippets, man. This shit
Yeah,
sounds crazy.
Exactly, bro. So
What another thing I know a lot of producers ask is like, I know a lot of producers use is like, what software do you use to produce a lot of your music?
I started out with FL Studio. Like,
Yeah, I know that's a common one.
Way
FL
back
Studios,
in the
yeah.
day, before it was even like producing.
Producers,
'cause
yeah.
I was fake producing like in high school, like recording like bands. I had mics, my drums. I used to play drums and shit
Oh,
like
word?
that. I played mad instruments.
Okay.
And I used to have all the recording shit at my house. I was using Sonar back then. But then when I really started producing, I got Machine. And then I got Logic.
Logic,
And
okay.
then I'm using Ableton now.
Ableton, okay.
Ableton is like, because I like sampling.
Got you. So, for sampling, are you trying to go like the Harry Fraud? For sampling, are you trying to go like the Harry Fraud route? You know, he's big on sampling up like old music from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s and mixing them up to like for hip hop artists. Like, are you trying to go that route in terms of sampling, or?
I can't say, man.
Okay.
It's just like I just do what comes out, like whatever.
Yeah, because I heard we heard like a Brazilian
Yeah.
type beat earlier.
And like you did, yeah. I didn't play you any of the Afrobeat type of joints that I'm doing. Like that's a sound that I'm really stepping into because that's something. Yo, there's a couple of dudes out there in the UK. A&R Josh, he's dope.
Word.
And another dude that's part of the team with ads and shit like that. Then there's ATG Music and also Since '92. That's SX.
Okay.
NCE 92. He's dope too. He's an engineer, producer, and artist. And yo, this dude is
He's
yeah,
legit.
yeah, he's
Got you.
I've been getting a lot of inspiration from him too. But yeah, man, like
So how was that transition move from FL to Ableton? What's the difference? Oh, because of sampling. That's the you can use a lot more samples.
yeah. Like FL Studio, like the thing about these, they call them DAWs. Thing about it is like sometimes like some of them have to catch up to other ones. Like when a new one comes out, it has a new feature and everything that just makes it
better. It's just
easier
like
to use,
Final
you know what
Cut
I'm
Pro.
saying?
Any of them
Yeah,
editing
exactly.
softwares, they always have something where
Right.
it makes this one a lot like Final Cut versus what's the other editing photo what's the other editing? Adobe Pro, yeah, Adobe Pro, yeah, that's the other one. So they always at Premiere, yeah, they always try to compete with each other because they both are used for the same objective.
Yeah.
And like one of my last questions I like to ask, like, what advice would you give to the producers out there that's trying to get into industry and something that you've learned since being in the industry? What advice would you give to young producers out there?
Be smart, protect your stuff, be flexible. Not flexible like in what you want, but I mean like flexible in your role of like you can survive in this industry for years to come if you're able to be in a room and serve different purposes at once. So say you step in a room and it's a team full of like artists or whatever, and like, you know what I'm saying, there's an engineer here, but you know how to engineer too. You might be able to contribute that way.
Learning a lot of skills
exactly.
to be a good asset to that team.
You could just be a great networker and you could just have connections to other people. That's where the A&R thing came in for me. It's just like, people used to ask me like, yo, what do you do exactly? And I used to not really like
know how to
have an answer because it's just like, yo, whatever I was in that room that day is what I was.
Got you.
I've been in here in this room as an A&R before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now it's just
but
come back
now
full
I'm in
circle
here
as
as
a
producer like 3-4 years later. So it's like, yo, you just gotta. That's the thing, man. I love this. I love music, man.
Yeah, because I mean, you stay around. It ain't like you veering off to other.
I've tried everything, bro. Like everything else that I want to do in life. Like I want to do that, but it's just like those aren't the type of goals that you have. Like the type of things that I used to say. I used to be obsessed with being on Forbes 30 under 30 back in the bro. I had a little panic attack on my 29th. Like, yo, you ain't but I calmed down. But it's just like, yo, the thing is, it's like
best is yet to come, bro. Everybody flourishes at their own time.
The goals that I had for myself in my head. It's like you're seeing Jay-Z, you're seeing Diddy. They're like in their 50s and they're just now doing that. So I'm like, damn, these ain't the type of goals that you get to when you 21, you 22. This ain't next day shit, bro. And that's the instant gratification thing. And it's just like, now I got that out of my head. It's just like, bro, like, you gotta work, and now I see the little pieces falling into
And another
play.
thing is, you gotta think about, you took your own route. You went to school. You had parents that was there that told you to take the school route, and you know what I'm saying. So you gotta look at that from that perspective. Like, my life is completely different from a Jay-Z, Diddy, so I had to do it this way first, and then maybe I'll get to that level 10 years before they did where they at in their career. You know what I'm saying? Just because I took that route, and I know a lot more people because I went to school and I got to meet those people. You know, like everybody sitting in this room went to St. John's at one point, and you know, it's just crazy how everybody connects when it comes down to
That's what I say, man. Like, I wouldn't trade my background for nothing, bro. Like, I'm from Hempstead, and like, I mean, everybody pretty much knows, like,
everybody knows about
Hempstead. But it's like, I wasn't outside like that because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I knew what was going on, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, that wasn't what my parents had for me, and I went to private school.
Yeah, they like, looked out. They knew they came from. They was like, we're gonna make sure my son don't have to go through the same thing.
Exactly, and like they don't know. Like, yo, my pops had like 3 jobs. Like my mom had 1 job, but I'm saying like my pops was working a lot before he decided that he was just gonna, like I come from world. Like my dad came out of nowhere and decided he was just gonna be mayor.
That's what's up.
And then ran, and then fucking won. Beat the dude that was there for 16 years before him. So it's like,
as a black man, that's amazing, bro.
My mom didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, yo, what are you thinking type shit. But my pops was deep in the community, like doing Little League and everything. Everybody knew him for that. So that's why I had that like giving back mindset. Yeah,
and that networking ability too.
But like, like for him to do something like that, especially from his background, it's just like, yo, I come from that mindset to be like, yo, if you want to do something, you gotta
put the work in.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And I seen it firsthand, and I seen everything like change like from that. Like, damn, like that's crazy.
You actually seen how the hard work can benefit. What you'll see after that.
I've been in so many different places and different rooms and everything like that, where it's just like, even big money shit don't impress me now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, of course I want it, but like being in there, I'm not fanning out. And everything like that.
Now that's what I think. I think one thing I've learned since touching some money is like, money don't change nothing. Money does not fulfill happiness. Like it does change what's made your circumstances, but it doesn't make you happy at the end of the day. Like, you have all the money in the world. If you don't have something
Money's freedom chips, bro.
That's all it is. Like, I think money ain't gonna make you happy. It's just gonna be a asset that you can use to try to make you happy. It ain't gonna make you happy.
You gotta have the mechanisms in your head to know what to do to
fulfill your happiness. It ain't gonna be money. I'll tell you that now. And one thing I like to leave off with is like, how can people support Jay? How can people support you, what you're doing music wise and producing wise? Like, I know you don't typically put your beats out there because you work with a team of people right now, but how can people support you?
I mean, well, honestly, like, my beats are going to be out there. I don't want to say like there aren't going to be any beats out there, but definitely follow my IG. I guess you can.
Yeah, follow you. Tell people your IG.
Yeah. It's at THE _JAYHALL. Yeah, you can follow my IG. I'm gonna be posting actually links to like the beats, to like the team and everything.
Well, okay. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, support me, support the team.
Yeah.
Follow the team.
What's the team? You got like a team page yet?
It's AON Productions, but I want
to
put
switch it?
everybody
Okay,
on,
got you.
individually. And
Well,
shit.
we gonna add that to the bottom
Yeah,
of the
we'll
video.
add
I'm gonna add all the Instagram information so that way y'all could check it
yeah,
out on
Sparrow
there.
though.
Yeah,
big
yeah.
shout out. Yeah, at Sparrow Beats.
Sparrow Beats, alright.
Big shout out to him. And yeah, man. Just follow.
Anything
like,
coming up this summer for you that you got planned that you could kind of give people an announcement about? Or
Yeah, I'm planning a trip to London.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do some things out there. I'm about to link with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm planning a trip out there. Like I said, I'm about to execute the master plan. I have some ideas that I want to do, but I don't want to speak too much on it because it's just like
it's fresh still. It's still fresh.
I noticed like you start to put your foot in your mouth when you start to say like I'm about to do this and that, and people like, all right, what happened?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't want to keep.
It's in
making
the early
mistakes.
stages.
Yeah,
it's in the early
but
stages.
I know. I have a clear cut plan now, and that's the thing that I feel like I've been lacking before. But right now, I feel like I have the plan and I have the product, as you heard.
Nah, I already know you got the product, boy.
Yeah.
We know you got the product, boy. That's for sure. Cooking up. Nah, for real, yo, Jay, I appreciate you booking this amazing studio. I appreciate you coming here and letting people know the process of being a producer, the process of having passion for music. I appreciate you being an entrepreneur. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to be motivated and stay on your grind, and start letting people know the work you've been putting in, because the music is amazing, and I know a lot of artists would be happy to jump on those beats. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, like I said,
real quick, can I just say,
shout out to
quick shout out, Spotlight First, that's at Spotlight First on Instagram. They on Twitter too.
Got you. I fuck with the shirt. I fuck with the shirt.
Tolu, yeah.
Dope fonts. All right.
Yeah, that dude. This is his company. They gave me a lot of inspiration. They got a blog out there.
Okay.
And,
dope fonts. Appreciate y'all. That's dope. It's a dope shirt.
I stumbled on that, and I got a lot of UK music from there, and I've just been really tapped into what they do, and I respect what they do. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Showing love all around. Now y'all keep tuning in to Great Entrepreneurs. Like I said, I appreciate Jay for coming through again. Y'all gonna see more entrepreneurs coming soon. It's your boy Jared. Promise Job out here.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
You already know. Holla at y'all.